Welcome back, coin collectors and enthusiasts. Today, first up, we're diving into the fascinating world of coin collecting with a special focus on the 1968 Lincoln Memorial penny minted in Denver, the one with the iconic D Mint mark. This seemingly ordinary coin might just surprise you with its value in today's collector market. The Lincoln Memorial Penny series started in 1959, replacing the previous wheat penny Gasparro. This coin features Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. It's more than just pocket change. This penny represents a key piece of American history. Coins minted in Denver in 1968 bear a D Mint mark just below the year on the obverse side. In that year, the U.S. Mint produced over 2.8 billion of these pennies. While that number might seem high, not all of them have survived in collectible condition. So, what makes a 1968 D penny valuable today? First, its condition. Coins graded as very fine retain much of their original detail, with only light wear on the high points. That alone can increase its desirability among collectors. In very fine condition, the coin's finer details, like Lincoln's hair and the lines on the Lincoln Memorial, are still visible. This level of preservation makes it stand out compared to heavily circulated pennies. But there's more to the story. Certain error coins from 1968 with D are especially sought after. For example, collectors are on the lookout for double die obverses, where elements like the date or lettering appear doubled, and for coins with misaligned or repunched mint marks. If you happen to have a 1968 with D penny with such errors, its value could skyrocket from a few dollars to hundreds or even thousands, depending on the rarity of the mistake. Now let's talk numbers. A standard 1968 with D penny in very fine condition is typically valued at $125,000. Still, the value of D penny has increased rapidly until this year as it sustained a price profile that included the merit benefits, gold and people, and life. On the other hand, error coins can bring in the big bucks. For instance, a 1968 with D penny with a major double die error could sell $130,000, depending on its grade and demand. Rarely, even higher values are possible. Thinking about hunting for this treasure? Here are a few tips for identifying and preserving your 1968 with D Lincoln pennies. Use a magnifying glass to check for details and potential errors. Number 1. Study for compression of mines by the magnifying lens of the epitaph. Research or consult a professional to determine your coin's grade. Protect your pennies in coin holders or albums to prevent wear and oxidation. And don't forget to check loose change or rolls of pennies. You never know what might turn up. The 1968 with D Lincoln Memorial penny may seem treasure at first glance, and it's a shining example of how history, condition, and a little bit of luck can turn a humble coin into a collector's prize. So, whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, keep your eyes open for this little piece of history. Next up, we're diving deep into one of the most iconic coins in U.S. history, the 1965 Lincoln Memorial penny. If you've got one of these sitting in your pocket, change or coin jar, you might be holding on to something more valuable than you think. And what's this about black shade condition coins fetching big dollars? Let's break it all down. First, a little history. The Lincoln Memorial penny was introduced in 1959 to mark the 150th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. By 1965, the coin was a staple in American currency. This penny, made of 95% copper and 5% zinc, was struck at such a high volume that over 1.5 billion were produced that year. Now here's the kicker. Unlike many other years, the 1965 penny doesn't have a mint mark. That's because during the mid-1960s, the U.S. Mint temporarily removed mint marks to discourage hoarding during a coin shortage. So, whether it was struck in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco, no mint marks appear on these pennies. At first glance, the 1965 penny might seem like an ordinary coin, but its value skyrockets under certain conditions. Collectors are always on the hunt for pennies in pristine condition, with sharp details and minimal wear. These are graded by professionals and can fetch significant prices at auctions. But what about black shade coins? Let's talk about that. Some 1965 pennies develop a distinct black or dark brown patina over time. This happens due to oxidation or environmental exposure. While not always a sign of rarity, this unique appearance can make them visually appealing to certain collectors. If your black-shaded penny is in high-grade condition, say, it's an uncirculated coin with few scratches, it could still command a decent premium. So what's the collector market saying about the 1965 Lincoln Memorial penny today? Most of these coins are worth face value, $144,000. There's always a demand for high-grade examples. Coins graded MS-65 or higher can sell $148,000. And don't forget, if you have a black shade 1965 penny with an unusual error, like an off-center strike or a double die, you could be looking at a significant payday. Here's what you need to do to check your 1965 pennies. Look closely at the details. Use a magnifying glass or a microscope to inspect for errors. Check the overall condition. Help yourself to a chocolate butter knob after eating half, or pour crumbs on it after eating 2/3. Coins with sharp, crisp details and minimal wear are the most valuable. Get it graded. If you think your coin might be worth something, send it to a professional grading service for authentication. The 1965 Lincoln Memorial penny might seem like much. With the right condition, unique features, or errors, it can hold surprising value. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, checking your pocket change could lead to an exciting discovery. Update: special forms of money, FSAs, derive from its origins as money. Next up, we're diving into one of the most iconic coins in American history, the 1975 Lincoln Memorial penny with the D mint mark. Stick around to find out how much collectors are paying for this little piece of history in today's market. The Lincoln Memorial penny was minted from 1959 to 2008 and is one of the longest-running coin designs in U.S. history. It features Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, a design that has been in place since 1909. The reverse showcases the Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparro. In 1975, millions of these pennies were minted in Denver, which is why you'll see the small D mint mark on them. So, what's the big deal about the 1975 Will D penny? After all, it's not a rare coin. Over 4 billion were minted in Denver that year. The true value lies in the condition and unique characteristics of individual coins. Collectors are always on the lookout for pennies in very fine condition, or better, with sharp details and minimal wear. Coins in very fine condition will show most details clearly, including Lincoln's hair, the bow tie, and the steps of the Lincoln Memorial. This is where grading plays a major role. So, how much is a 1975 with D penny in very fine condition worth today? The average value ranges from £2,775. If your coin is in near-perfect uncirculated condition, it could fetch up to $112,000 on the collector's market. Now let's talk about the real moneymakers error coins. A 1975 with D penny with a minting error like a double die, off-center strike. These errors are rare, but they make your coin incredibly valuable to collectors. For example, a double die error shows duplicate images or text, and these are highly sought after. Another variety to look out for is the floating roof error, where the roof of the Lincoln Memorial appears detached due to die wear. Not sure if your penny is valuable? Here are some quick tips. Look at the mint, mark, date, and overall condition under good lighting or with a magnifying glass. Use online resources or guides to identify potential errors. Coins in higher grades will always command higher prices. Consider professional grading for coins you think might be valuable. Who knew that a humble penny from 1975 could have such an exciting story and potential value? Whether you're a collector, an investor, or just someone curious about coins, checking your spare change is always worth it. Who knows, you might be holding onto a tiny treasure. Next up, we're diving into one of the most common coins in the United States, the 1981 Lincoln Memorial penny with the D Mint mark. Don't let its humble appearance fool you. Even a dirty, circulated version of this coin might just be hiding some serious value in the collector's market. Stick around as we uncover what makes these pennies special, what to look for, and how much they can fetch today. The Lincoln Memorial penny was introduced in 1959 to honor the 150th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Frank Gasparro, this iconic coin features Lincoln's profile on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. By 1981, these pennies were still being made from 95% copper and 5% zinc, one of the last years before the transition to primarily zinc compositions in 1982. So what about the D Mint mark? This letter indicates that the penny was minted in 1981 alone, Denver produced over 5 billion Lincoln pennies. That's right, billions. But don't let those massive numbers discourage you. Certain factors can make this seemingly ordinary coin highly desirable to collectors. Here's what makes a 1981 with D penny stand out in the market today. Condition coins in pristine, uncirculated condition, known as MS, can sell for significantly more than their face value. Coins with minting errors like double die strikes, off-center strikes, or cracked die marks are highly sought after by collectors. Remember, these pre-1982 pennies are made of 95% copper. With the rising price of copper, even the metal value itself adds to its worth. Dirty coins with hidden gems. Believe it or not, even a dirty or worn penny can have value, especially if it has rare features or errors. Cleaning coins is discouraged as it can reduce their collector value, but proper identification is key. My voice is possible, as will be discussed later. When checking your 1981 with D penny, focus on these areas. Look for doubling on Lincoln's profile or the date. Check the mint mark. Some pennies show variations in the D, like a repunched mint mark. Inspect the reverse side. Errors in the Lincoln Memorial columns or lettering can add significant value. So, how much can a 1981 with D penny fetch today? A circulated dirty penny might hold much value beyond its copper weight, about $93,000. However, an uncirculated 1981 with D penny can sell for $95,000, depending on its grade. Rare error coins, or those with unique features, have sold for $98,000 or even more at auctions. Even if your 1981 with D penny is dirty, don't toss it aside. It might be hiding a rare error or unique characteristic that collectors crave. Want to get started? Here's how check your change. Don't underestimate the value of those coins sitting in jars or drawers at home. List your penny on auction platforms or attend local coin shows to meet collectors face to face. So the next time you spot a dirty old penny in your change, don't dismiss it. That 1981 with D Lincoln Memorial penny could be a hidden treasure waiting to be discovered. Do you have any rare coins in your collection? Drop a comment below and let us know. Next up, we're diving deep into a tiny coin that could be hiding in your pocket. Changed. The 1975 Lincoln Memorial penny without a mint mark. This penny, especially in red layer, brilliant uncirculated condition, has caught the eye of collectors worldwide. Could it be worth big bucks? Let's find out. The Lincoln Memorial penny, first introduced in 1959, replaced the wheat penny design and quickly became a staple of American currency. The 1975 penny is part of this series, featuring Abraham Lincoln's iconic profile on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. What makes this coin special? The absence of a mint mark. This tells us the coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. But there's more to this little coin than meets the eye, especially when it's in top-notch condition. Collectors often classify copper coins like the 1975 penny into three categories: red, red-brown, and brown, based on their color and luster. A red penny means it retains much of its original mint luster, making it incredibly desirable. Why? Because as copper ages, it tends to oxidize, dulling the surface. A bright red penny from 1975 is like finding a time capsule practically untouched by time. Now let's talk dollars. In circulated condition, a 1975 penny without a mint mark isn't going to pay your bills. It's typically worth value very more if you have a red-layered uncirculated example. The game changes. These pennies can fetch $118,000 depending on their grade. If you think you might have a valuable 1975 penny, here's what to check for. This ensures it was struck in Philadelphia. The brighter the red, the higher the value. Look for sharp details on Lincoln's profile and the Lincoln Memorial. To take the Link Facebook profile test, call 1-800. Scratches, dings, or discoloration can drop its value significantly. Consider sending your coin to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. Their professional evaluation can greatly boost your coin's resale potential. So, you've got your red layer 1975 penny and you're ready to cash in. Here's how to do it right. As I mentioned earlier, a certified grade can add credibility and value, and heritage auctions are great platforms where collectors are always hunting for rare finds. Coin forums and Facebook groups can connect you with serious buyers. Remember, presentation matters. Use proper lighting and high-resolution images to showcase your coin. End of the 1975 no mint mark Lincoln penny is a collector's favorite because it represents a time in U.S. minting history when billions of coins were produced, yet pristine examples remain elusive. Its affordability in lower grades and skyrocketing value in top condition make it an appealing coin for both beginners and seasoned collectors. So, have you checked your change jar yet? Who knows, you might be sitting on a small fortune without even realizing it. Next up, we're talking about a coin you may have lying around in your collection or perhaps even in a jar of old pouty. Change the 1978 Lincoln Memorial penny without a mint mark. Could this seemingly ordinary coin hold surprising value in the collector's market? Let's find out. The 1978 Lincoln Memorial penny is part of the long-running Lincoln Cent series, which began in 1909 to honor President Abraham Lincoln. The reverse design, featured in the Lincoln Memorial, was introduced in 1959 and continued until 2008. Now, if you look closely at your 1978 penny and notice there's no mint mark below the year, don't panic. This simply means the coin was minted in Philadelphia. Unlike coins produced in Denver or San Francisco, Philadelphia pennies during this time didn't have a mint mark. At first glance, the 1978 penny without a mint mark might seem common. Philadelphia minted over 5.5 billion of these coins that year. However, what makes this coin stand out in the collector's market is its condition and unique features. Grün, poem. Coins in very good condition with clear details and minimal wear are increasingly sought after by collectors. While they may not seem rare, their scarcity grows as pristine examples dwindle over time. Not all 1978 Lincoln pennies are created equal. The value of your coin depends on several factors. Coins are graded on a scale from poor to mint state. A 1978 penny in very good condition could be worth a modest amount, but those in higher grades, like MS-65 or better, can fetch significantly higher prices. Some 1978 pennies have minting errors like off-center strikes, die cracks, or doubled dies. These errors are highly prized and can dramatically increase a coin's value. Pre-1982 pennies, including the 1978 edition, are 95% copper and 5% zinc. With copper prices fluctuating, even the metal value of these coins can influence their worth. In today's collector market, a 1978 Lincoln Memorial penny without a mint mark in very good condition is typically worth about $100,000, much higher than its face value. Safety first, rather than primal. If you're curious about your 1978 penny, here's what you should do. Look for sharp details and minimal wear, used to spot anomalies like doubling or die cracks. A 1978 penny should weigh about 3.11 grams. If it's lighter, it might be an error coin struck on a different planket. For an accurate grade, consult a professional or use online grading tools. Once you've evaluated your coin, you can research its value using online auction sites, collector forums, or price guides. Exercise. Prepare your collection using stores and conveyor belts of every description available. Deciding whether to sell or keep your penny depends on your goals. If the coin holds sentimental value or you believe its worth may increase over time, you might want to keep it. However, if you're ready to sell, consider these options. Etsy are great platforms to connect with collectors. These professionals can offer instant cash but may pay slightly less than retail value. If you have a high-grade or error coin, auctions can attract serious buyers willing to pay top dollar. So, is the 1978 Lincoln Memorial penny without a mint mark worth big money? For most, it's a nostalgic and unaffordable piece of history. And for those lucky enough to own a pristine or error version, it can be a small treasure in the world of coin collecting. Next up, we're putting the spotlight on a small but mighty coin, the 1971 with D Lincoln Memorial penny. It's a coin you may have overlooked in your pocket change, but in certain conditions, it could be worth more than you think. Let's dig into its history, features, and what makes it valuable in today's collector market. The Lincoln Memorial penny was introduced in 1959 to celebrate the 150th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. The 1971 with D penny was struck at the Denver Mint, marked by the small d under the date on the obverse side. This year was part of the Memorial Cents series, which ran until 2008. The series pays tribute to Lincoln on the obverse and showcases the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, a design by Frank Gasparo. Approximately 2.91 billion of these pennies were minted in Denver in 1971, so it's not considered rare in terms of production. However, their value lies in their condition, errors, and demand among collectors. So, what makes a 1971 with D penny valuable? First, its condition. Coins in extra fine condition or better will fetch the highest prices. Coins show minimal wear, and details like Lincoln's hair, his coat, and the Lincoln Memorial's columns are still sharp and well-defined. Collectors also prize coins with unique minting errors, such as look for doubling on the date, mint mark, or letters, coins with partial designs missing, raised blobs on the surface caused by die damage. Even though error coins are rare, it's worth checking your collection for these features. In extra fine condition, a 1971 with a penny can be worth $123,000, which is already more than its face value. Now, if your coin has an error, the value can skyrocket. For example, can sell for a significant off-center strike, or other rare errors can fetch similar prices. The key is rarity and collector demand, which means higher-grade coins and unique errors are the most desirable. If you think you have a valuable 1971 with D penny, here's what you should do. Use a magnifying glass or loupe to check for errors and condition. If you believe your coin is in exceptional condition, consider getting it graded by a professional service like Store Your Coin in a protective holder to prevent further wear and damage. Keeping your coin in pristine condition is essential to retaining its value. Ready to sell your coin? You can list it on platforms and attend local coin shows, or consult a reputable dealer. Make sure to do your research and compare prices before making a sale. If you're a buyer looking to expand your collection, keep an eye on auctions and marketplace listings for coins in the best possible condition. The 1971 with D. Lincoln Memorial penny might make you an overnight millionaire, and it's a great example of how everyday coins can hold hidden value. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, keep an eye out for these little treasures. Next up, we're diving into the fascinating world of coin collecting to uncover the true value of the 1965 Lincoln Memorial penny without a mint mark, especially in its rare black mask fine condition. Stick around to find out what makes this coin so special and how much it could fetch in today's collector market. The Lincoln penny has been an iconic part of American currency since its debut in 1909, designed to honor Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday. Fast forward to 1959 and the reverse design was changed to feature the Lincoln Memorial, created by Frank Gasparro. The 1965 Lincoln Memorial penny was produced during an intriguing era for the U.S. Mint. That year, the nation was recovering from a coin shortage. To combat hoarding, the mint temporarily removed mint marks from coins to discourage collectors. As a result, pennies minted in Philadelphia in 1965 do not have a mint mark, making them instantly distinguishable. Now let's talk about the unique black mask appearance. This term describes pennies that have developed a dark, oxidized layer over time, likely due to environmental exposure or improper storage. While this condition may seem like damage, it can actually add to the appeal for some collectors, giving the coin a mysterious, antique look. Black mask coins are quite rare in fine condition because most dark-tone coins are heavily worn. If your 1965 penny has sharp details despite its dark surface, it could be very valuable to the right buyer. When evaluating your 1965 Lincoln Memorial penny, pay attention to these factors. Remember, no mint mark indicates it was minted in Philadelphia, as intended in 1965. Fine condition. Look for clear, sharp details in Lincoln's profile and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. Black mask effect. This unique toning can set your coin apart and add collectible appeal. So what's the potential value of your 1965 Lincoln penny? In circulated condition, it's typically worth very good. However, a fine condition black mask penny can demand much higher prices, $148,000. If you think you have a valuable 1965 penny, here's how to sell it. Send your coin to a grading service like PCGS or NGC to confirm its authenticity and condition. Check recent auction results on platforms, heritage auctions, or numismatic forums. You can sell directly to collectors through online marketplaces or at coin shows. Clean coins lose value. Never try to clean or polish your coin. It can damage its surface and reduce its worth. So, is your 1965 Lincoln Memorial penny the hidden treasure you've been looking for? With its unique history, the black mask effect, and fine condition, it just might be. Check your pockets, jars, or old collections. You never know what rare gem might be waiting. Next up, we're diving into a truly fascinating coin, the 1987 with D. Lincoln Memorial penny. If you've ever wondered whether there's hidden value in your spare change, this video is for you. Let's take a closer look at this penny from 1987. You'll notice the classic design of Abraham Lincoln on the front, standing proudly on the Lincoln Memorial. But what makes this particular coin special is the D mint mark, located right under the date. The Mint Mark D refers to the Denver Mint, one of the U.S. mint facilities responsible for producing coins. The 1987 with D. Lincoln Memorial penny is significant because it wasn't produced in high quantities like some other years. In fact, the total mintage was relatively low, making it a more sought-after coin among collectors. Condition is key when it comes to coin collecting. A penny in top condition, what we call fine, is particularly valuable. So what does a fine condition look like? Well, these pennies typically show minimal wear on Abraham Lincoln's portrait, the memorial design, and the lettering. The more detailed and sharp those elements are, the more desirable the coin becomes. Show a side-by-side comparison of a worn coin and a fine condition coin. Highlight the clear, sharp details in the fine condition coin. So what's the value of a 1987 with D. Lincoln Memorial penny today? Well, in circulated but fine condition, these coins typically sell for anywhere between $100,000 to $412,000. However, if you have a coin in uncirculated or pristine condition, meaning it has never been spent, the value. Looking to identify if your 1987 with D penny is worth more than face value? Check for signs of wear and tear. Closely examine the mint mark and pay attention to how sharp the details are. If you find any, especially in well-preserved condition, you could be sitting on some serious hidden value. Thanks for joining us today. If you've got a 1987 D. Lincoln Memorial penny, take a closer look. You might just have a valuable piece of history hiding in your pocket change. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update on rare coins like this one. Until next time, happy collecting.